All right, please listen up. Everyone needs to take out their Constitution paper that I gave you yesterday. Take it out and have it on your desk. We are going to be working on that today and tomorrow. Yes, sir. Oh, you have them all? Perfect. Thank you, Karen. All right. While you get your Constitution out, I would like you to take a little gander over here, please, and thank you. So today is Wednesday. You just took your list quiz. Was it awesome? It shouldn't be that scary. Well, that's on you. Raise your hand if you actually wrote out the list on that piece of paper that I gave you. Okay, long term, you will be grateful for it. Now, are you turning that in? Ever? No. So if I will never know if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I will never know. So please do not do it because you think it's worth points. It is not worth points, but it will make your life easier. Okay. Tomorrow and Friday, you have no quizzes. Does that make us happy? Did we find some joy in the world? You will only ever have 3 quizzes a week. Always. Going forward from here on out. Okay. So tomorrow we're going to finish the Constitution. Friday we're doing AP stuff. So a little bit of low key on Friday. Monday you have 1 through 20 vocab. I can ask you the same vocab list. Those vocab terms are essential. And then you have a list quiz on Tuesday. Okay? Wednesday. So I have a benign cyst on my thumb. It's been there and it hurts and it's annoying. I'm getting it removed on the 23rd. So I don't know when I'm having surgery because it's in a joint. I have to have like an orthopedic surgeon and all that stuff. Maybe more information than you need. I don't know what time my surgery is. It could be in the morning, it could be in the afternoon. If it's in the afternoon, I will be here. If it's in the morning, I obviously won't be here. I am telling you right now, I will finish content on Tuesday. Wednesday, if I'm here, we'll use it as review. We'll do whiteboards. It'll be pretty low-key. There's no quizzes or anything like that. It'll be low-key, but we'll use our time constructively. Because Thursday, you have a test. Is everyone clear on that? A week from tomorrow. Not tomorrow. A week from tomorrow, you have your first test. And if I'm not here on Wednesday, you still have a test on Thursday. I will finish content by Tuesday. Wednesday, if I'm here, we will do review. If I'm not, you can work on your focus or do other things. I'm not going to give you some bullshit assignment. Is everyone clear? You have plenty to do. You work hard for me. So I'm not going to disrespect you by like giving you some crappy things to do. Is everyone clear on that? But I just wanted to let you know that's what's happening on the 23rd. Yes.
Do we ever turn in like our vocab paper?
Yeah. It's an assignment. The only thing that you do not have to turn in is the list stuff. That is the only thing you don't have to turn in because I would die. There's enough things coming in. What?
Are the tests like factual or like stimulus-based?
Both. It's a little bit of a hybrid. They're significantly less than AP
Are
World.
they similar to like the practice questions in the
Similar, yes. Okay, the hardest test you're going to take in this room is next Thursday because you don't know what to expect. Is everyone clear? It's kind of like the vocab quizzes. Once you saw the first one, you kind of know how they're all going to look. You just saw what the list looks like. You can tell it's completely random, yes? I had fun clicking through. It was a good time, I'm not gonna lie. Now that you know what it looks like, that's what it's gonna look like for the rest of your life. Is everyone clear on the expectations here? So once you take your first test in the room, 25 questions, all multiple choice, you'll see what it will look like for the rest of your life, and that'll give you a little bit more confidence going through. Is that okay? So you have no quizzes to study for the rest of the week. Am I excited? Yes. All right. Okay, so let's go to the Constitution. So today we are working on the Constitution. The Constitution, we are going to go over it like kind of quick. I'm going to try moving as quickly as we possibly can. So a lot of it's going to be kind of skimmed over. And if you're horrified, we're not going to read it verbatim, so am I. But we just don't have that kind of time. All right, here we go. Constitution. You do need your highlighter, as I mentioned. Here we go. Okay, so the Constitution. In Philadelphia on May 14, 1787, the Federal Convention convened to revise the Articles of Confederation. Oh, sorry, idiot. Thank you. Okay, the Articles of Confederation. What is The Articles of Confederation. What is it? Maribel. Yeah, what is it? It's our what? It's our first attempt at government. How'd it go? Yeah, that's why we're at a convention, right? So it is going to fail. It fails. And what event causes it to fail? What do you got for me, Andrew? Shays Rebellion is the reason why it collapses. Or it shows its incredible weakness. And you do need to know it's the first attempt at government. Okay, now keep in mind you are going to turn these in. I'm going to teach you how to turn these in tomorrow on Canvas. Everything you do in this class gets 10 points if you're just following me. You will not have any homework that's a primary source. This is what these are. These are primary documents. I will always do them in class for you, so as long as you write them down, you get the 10 points. Sound good? So, but you have to have everything I have. I do this 3 times. You can do it once. Here we go. All right, here we go. But through the discussion and debate, it became clear rather than amend the existing articles, the convention would draft an entirely new frame of government. All through the summer in closed sessions. What does closed sessions mean, Dean? If it's a closed session, it's what? It's private or secret. It's in secret. Why are they doing this in secret, Ellie? No, it's not against Britain. This is the Constitutional Convention. So this is 1787. We won the war 5 years ago. Why are they doing it in secret, Ryan?
They want people to rebel.
They don't want people to rebel. Why would people rebel?
Because they like the articles.
Okay, yeah, hi. If we found out today, right now, that everyone in the Senate and in the House of Representatives are working together to change the Constitution, how would we feel about that? Not good. We'd be really pissed off. There'd be rebellions all across the country. People would be really pissed. That's also part of the reason why they're doing it in secret. Now, does this secret work out for a positive thing for all Americans? Yes, but do people like their entire government changing by a group of 72 white men, by the way? No. But here we are. Okay. Here we go. In closed sessions, the delegates debated and redrafted the articles of a new constitution. Among the chief point issues were how much power allowed to the central government. Why are they so afraid of the central government? Why are they afraid? Why are they afraid, Luke? Yes, they're trying to avoid a king. Thank you. That took me like 10 minutes in my last class. Thank you. Yes, they're trying to avoid a king. So they are fearful. Fearful of another king. Okay? So, that's one of the big problems. How many representatives in Congress to allow each state, and how these representatives should be elected. On September 17th, 1787, the delegates of the Constitutional Convention met for the last time to sign the document they created. Anyone here ever been to Constitution Hall? I've been. It's in, oh my God. Philadelphia. That was too hard for me. I've been. It's cool, right? You gotta go. If you go to Philadelphia, you have to go. You should go see it. I saw it for the first time like 3 years ago. Don't judge. And it was really, really cool. Now, keep in mind, if you've been in those rooms, it's really small, isn't it? Could you imagine keeping all those windows completely closed and all the shutters closed? Because it was a closed session. So it's like sweating in Philadelphia throughout this whole convention. You know how we think of these dignified founding fathers and their big fluffy suits and stuff like that? But in reality, they're all like rolling up their undershirts and stuff like that and sitting around sweating it out in Constitution Hall. Is that the image you wanted of our founding fathers? No? Well, there you go. All right, here we go. With your highlighter. Okay, this is the most famous line. We the of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish the Constitution of the United States. Okay, the preamble. These are all the goals of the government, and there's a total of 6 of them. Okay, these are all the goals of the government. When we talk about posterity, what is posterity? Ash, what's posterity? We do lots of things for posterity. Did your mom and your dad keep a little baby book for you when you were a baby?
Yeah.
That's for posterity. What is posterity? For the future. For the future, right, Ash?
Yeah.
The whole reason they made that baby book for you is so you could look back on you as a baby and you could show your kids or whatever you want to do with it. Here we go. So, it's for the future. Article 1, you need to know it's the legislature. I'm going to put a box around it. It is the legislature, okay? It is going to create Congress. That is what we call. Congress is made up of the House of Representatives and Senate. Okay? Section 2 is all about the House of Representatives. So you need to write, I'm going to write HOR. Every time I write HOR, it stands for? Yeah, because I'm not writing it 6,000 times. Okay? The HOR, you need to know they have a 2-year election cycle. 2-year election, and you need to know they're known as the lower house. They're based on what? How many seats do they get is based entirely on? Population. It is population based. So what state has the most seats in the House of Representatives, Colin? California, because California has the largest population. That's what the House of Representatives is about. Okay. Down here in the second, you are also going to have the term of 10 years. This is where we've created the census. Okay, this is where the census. What is the census, Tatum?
Like how many people are living in an area?
Yeah, it's counting. It counts population. Why is it included in the House of Representatives? Why is it included here, Tatum?
Because it's based on population.
Yes! Okay. All right, this took us 10 minutes in first period. Yes, the House of Representatives is based on population. You can only get a population count if you do a census. So the census every 10 years comes around and counts. All right. Here we go. Section 3, you need to know it is the Senate. Okay, it is known as the High House. Okay, and it's 2 people per state. Why do they do 2 people per state in the Senate? It makes sense if you think about it. Why do they do that, Alexandra? No, because people don't know about it when they frame it, but I do like that answer. Leo? Well, yeah, but why did they randomly pick 100 people? They could have picked 600 people if they wanted to. Why did they pick that? Well, keep in mind, there's only like 13 or 15 states at this point, so that it's significantly smaller than we currently are. Why do they do it, Colin? No. Well, why? Yes. Okay, guys, for the House of Representatives, it's based on population. So if you're a teeny tiny state like Rhode Island, are you happy or you're cranky? You're cranky because I think the state of Rhode Island has like 1 House of Representative or maybe 2. There can't be more than 3. Like, there's no way. Okay? So they get kind of screwed over in the House of Representatives because they're not a big state. So in order to balance it out in the high house or the most powerful house, everyone gets 2. So California has, Rhode Island has, everyone is equal. That's what gives small states power, and it's just not all about the big, heavy population-based states. So it's there to balance. Okay? So a couple things you need to know. They have re-elections of Senate is done in thirds. Why do they do it in thirds? So 1/3 of the Senate is up for re-election. The other 2/3 still have either 2 or 4 more years. And in 2 years, a new third of the Senate is up. Why? Why, Jade? Productive. Why is it productive? You're correct, but there's another word that you need to include. You're kind of, Bronson.
So you don't have to replace 100 people every time?
Okay, it's because of stability. Stability. Okay. They're the high house. They have the most power. They're the ones who allow a president to declare war. It has to be approved by the Senate. They get to make all the big decisions. Do we want a bunch of randos who have no idea how DC works and how the laws work and how everything functions making these huge decisions? Hell no. So because of that, we keep 2/3 of the Senate in place to kind of help the new people, yes, and adjust. And then so slow changes to go through the Senate because we don't want big swings every single time. Like, for instance, is there a big shift between Donald Trump's administration and Biden's? Okay? Whether you like Biden, hate Biden, love Trump, hate Trump, there was a big paradigm shift between Trump to Biden. Can we agree? Do we want to feel that every single time? Do we want that happening in the Senate, which is actually the one producing most of our legislation? No. So it's the stability. While the House of Representatives is every 2 years. So that shit gets wild. Can we agree? Okay? That's where that gets crazy. All right. So you need to know it's all about stability. The Senate has to be stable. Because of that, they have elections every 6 years. The House is 2, the Senate is 6. Okay?
Every 6 years, it's 1/3.
1/3. So every 2 years, essentially, they have an election for senators. But that, like here in Florida, I think we're voting in 2 years, I think. I think Rubio just got elected 4 years ago. So in 2 years, we'll have an election. And then Rubio won't be on the ballot again until 6 more years. Does that make sense?
Why can't you do 2 back-to-back?
What? He can. He can be a senator for the rest of his life. Like Mitch McConnell has been a senator for like 600 years. I'm pretty sure that's how the math works out.
So like you don't have a term that just like ends after 6
There's
years?
no term limits. But yeah, for the Senate, like Mary Feinstein, the California senator who's like dying, like actively dying in Congress. Like she is like decaying. No. Like she's like dying at her desk in the Senate and she refuses to retire. And she's been in office since the 70s. Yeah. She's 94, 95. Yeah, I mean, she's been in there forever, and she refuses to retire, and she's a Democrat. So, and that's caused huge amount of problems because she's been hospitalized like 1,000 times, and it's causing tons of problems. So it's on both sides. So, huh? Can she be removed? She can't be removed. I don't know. They don't really let you take too many pictures or videos of her. All right, Vice President. Breaks the equal vote. Hello, that made no coherent sense. Okay, so there's a vote in the Senate. There's 100 people, and if it's 50-50, the vice president steps in and casts the final ballot. That makes way more coherent sense. The Senate is also in charge of impeachment. You weren't alive for Clinton, but you definitely were alive for Trump, who got impeached twice. Now, because you got impeached, does that mean you're kicked out of office? Hell no, because Trump finishes 4 years. It just means you're getting charged and you have to go through a trial by the Senate. And the Senate can either convict or clear you. And both times, I guess 1.5 times, because they didn't really finish the trial because it was January 6th and Trump was leaving on the 20th, right? So they didn't really convict, but they did impeach him. All right, Section 4 is state run elections. Okay, so now I am going to talk about present day politics. I refuse to not step in and discuss what is happening currently because I think that's a disservice to you. I am going to show you both sides, Senate, Republicans and Democrats. I will tell you, whether you love Trump, hate Trump, Trump is going to make some of this easier for us to process because he pushed the Constitution very far in how much power he had. both legal and some of the courts are asserting illegally. Is everyone clear? I'm not saying it's illegal because I'm not a lawyer. I teach high school. If I was a lawyer, I'd be wearing a fabulous outfit, rocking a fabulous bag, kicking butt in a courtroom. And I'm sitting here in my Target shirt. Okay? So, with that being said, I will be referring to Trump. I will show you both sides of the argument. The reason why Trump just got impeached, not impeached. He got indicted 2 days ago in Georgia is because the laws in Georgia are based and created by the state of Georgia. He did win a bunch of votes. If it was the same amount of votes in Alabama, he would have won the state of Alabama. But because the voting laws in Georgia vote a certain decree in order for the election to be called credited and a winner to be declared, that is why they're going after him. Because Trump tried changing the state laws. Okay, now that is a very dumbed down, watered down version of it because I'm not smart enough to explain it completely because I'm not a lawyer. What I am telling you is that Trump's in big trouble because of state-run elections are fighting back. The states are fighting back saying, hey, look at the Constitution. We have the right to decide how our elections are held. And this is where it's in Section 4. So Trump right now is in a fight against the Constitution. And that's the big thing. Now, could he win? Yes. Could he lose? Also, yes. But that is why the state of Georgia is filing these claims, because who gets to decide how the elections run in Georgia? Georgia. Okay? That's the big decision. So Trump is fighting with the Constitution at the minute. Okay? 5, 6, there's not too much you need to know there. 7 is taxes. Are controlled.
6 or 7?
6, sorry. No, 7, sorry. It's harder than you think sitting up here, okay? Taxes. Section 7 is taxes are controlled by legislature. Why are they controlled by the legislature? Think about it. It makes logical sense. Why do you think, Tori? They create the laws, which is a good reason, but what is the other major reason? Why? Ryan?
The representatives?
Yeah, the representatives. We elected these people, so we put people in there that we like and we see, and that's why. Okay, Section 8 is collecting taxes. Okay. Naturalization is a big term that does come up, even though, as you can see, we're not reading the whole thing. It's all about citizenship. Now, here in the United States, you are a citizen based on birth. It's your birth. If you were born in the country, you are a citizen. Okay? So, citizens by birth or essentially government approval. And that takes a long time. It's not a short process. Okay? Now, we are going to Section 8. Section 9 is over here. Okay? Habeas corpus is one of the big things you do need to know. It's about being fair. Fair trials. And innocent till proven guilty. Making sure we're keeping that. Till proven guilty. Okay. This is Section 10, which is all about imports and exports. So they get to levy those types of taxes. This is all about the legislative branch. Ladies and gentlemen, we haven't gone to Article 2 is right here. How much power does the legislative branch have? Yeah, they have a ton. I mean, they get to, some of the things we skip, they get to create the post office, they get to declare war, they get to raise an army and a navy, they get to borrow money. Why do they get so much power? Because they're the representatives of the United States, okay? All right, Article 2 is your executive branch. Okay, and who's the leader of the executive branch? President, okay? So, you need to know that the president is elected by what? Electoral college, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so there's 2 major processes we do here in the United States. There's 2 major votes. You have popular vote, and then you have the electoral college vote. The The popular vote means whoever got the most votes wins. Electoral college is about 180 votes, but 146 gets you the majority, not majority, the 3/4 electors, and that's how you win president. Okay? Now, we know from 2016 that who won the popular in 2016? Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton got more votes per any candidate in the election. But who won the election? Trump, because what actually elects presidents? The Electoral College. So it's a huge deal, ladies and gentlemen. It is a huge deal. Now, in your lifetime, your generation will decide if we're keeping the Electoral College or getting rid of the Electoral College. It's a huge hot button issue. The Electoral College was there to keep the president from going to a complete wackadoodle. It was a safety valve. That's why the original founders did it. Remember, has democracy been actually used when the founders are sitting in this room arguing it out? No, they didn't know what it would look like. So the Electoral College was a safety valve. Now, 200 something years later, do we need this safety valve, or should we actually really do the popular vote and give it? Now, that's up to you, and your generation will make that choice probably, whether we keep it or not. But there are big pros to the Electoral College, and there are also big cons as well. All right, so flip it over. You got section 2. Okay, section 2 makes the president the commander-in-chief, so they get to lead the Army and the Navy and all of our branches. Over here, you have the creation. The president gets to create a cabinet. A cabinet is going to be the highest officials in the country. There's a total of 15 of them who are currently in the cabinet, and the president has meetings frequently with the cabinet, weekly, in hot button issues, daily, where they all come together and help inform the president. There are 2 ways that you can become a cabinet member. One is you can earn the spot. You're well respected within the community, and you are like the heir apparent, right? You train under the last cabinet, and then the next president comes in and appoints you for that position because you are the most qualified. That is what we all want, right? We want the most qualified people leading the War Department, the State Department, okay? All of these huge departments. And for most of them, they are. Like the War Department is led by some crazy high general with crazy experience and knows all the dirty secrets, right? Our Secretary of State knows all the political going-ons between nations usually. How's the other way you get in? Bronson? Being friends with the president, but how do we really get in there? Money! Yes! Yes, you can either earn your spot in the cabinet or you can buy it by making campaign donations. If you pay enough, you can get into the cabinet. Or you can do political favors that get you into the cabinet. This is in every president in history. It's happened in Trump. It's happening in Biden. It happened in Obama. It happened in Clinton. And it happened in George W. and George H. Okay? It's on both parties. Like right now, Pete Buttigieg is the Transportation Secretary for Biden. Okay? Pete Buttigieg? Transportation Secretary. So he's in the cabinet. His previous job was a mayor of South Bend, Indiana. And now he's the Transportation Secretary. Why? No, he's not friends with Biden. He was running for president and was Biden's biggest competition for running for president in 2020. So Biden said, hey, if you drop out, I'll put you in my cabinet. So what did he do? He dropped out, and now he's sitting in the cabinet. Now, I will tell you, Pete Buttigieg, I do actually like the guy. He went to Harvard and Oxford. He's known as a Rhodes Scholar. He served 2 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, and he is decorated by the U.S. military. So he's not a complete idiot. Yes? Hello? So he's not a moron. Okay? Now, have we had morons in our cabinets? Absolutely. Both on Republicans and Democratic sides, of course. But yeah, so that's how you become a cabinet member. You either earn your spot because you know your shit backwards and forwards and you need to be in the room, or You paid a lot of money, and I'm talking like 30, 40, 50 million dollars to campaigns. What do you got, Jane? Cabinet help inform the president and make decisions. So you're like the top 15 most valuable people in the country. And you run like your own little departments. We'll get to what the cabinet does once we get there. What do you got?
Is that how elite theory plays a role in our government?
How what? Yes, because it's typically really wealthy people get those appointments and stuff like that. So it's really interesting because like you would think all these people would be the most qualified, but no. Like under Trump, his Secretary of Education was one of the companies who was making money off of federal loans for college kids and who makes money off of education, leading public education for the whole country. It's kind of conflicting, yes? Every single cabinet has little like, oh, not secrets, but everyone does a little bit of some shady things. Okay, vacancies. The president gets to appoint judges, and government employees. So they can pick people to lead the FBI. They can pick people to lead FEMA, which is a huge issue right now. We all know about Hawaii is burning. Okay, we know that over 100 people are dead. Okay, and there's been a huge criticism on Biden's FEMA response. Okay, and that goes back to his cabinet. Okay, all right, Section 3, we don't need to know. Article 3 is your judicial branch. Okay, I'm going to put a box around it, even though I don't think I did it for the other ones. You need to know it's all about the courts and laws. Okay, one of their major responsibilities is about treason. Keep in mind, all of this is about the start of a new country. So are they worried other people are trying to sink that country before it gets off the ground? Absolutely. Now, you saw how long the legislative one was. The Article 2 is pretty, it's fine. Look how short Article 3 is. So, do you think our Supreme Court today has lots of leeway or very little leeway? Lots of leeway, absolutely. Okay, there's very little checks and balances on the court, which whether you agree or disagree is up to you. If you agree with the current court, you're ecstatic. Roe versus Wade got overturned. They've also overturned, oh my God, affirmative action they just overturned. They're also in the process of going after a couple other things. If this is your political leaning, then you're ecstatic. Can we agree? If this is not what you agree and you think that is horrible, those decisions are going to take a very long time to correct if you think it's the wrong decision. Because you have to wait for all of them to die, and then hopefully you have whatever perspective you want as president to appoint the next one. So the decisions in the last 2 Supreme Court justices were appointed by Trump, which turned the whole bench conservative. It is going to take probably about another 30 years for maybe the bench to change. So the consequences of our presidents, of our Supreme Court, of voting is a huge deal. Whether you love it and you want to keep it going, or you hate it and you want to change it, is it a fast process or a slow process? And they have a lot of leeway to make whatever decisions they want. Like, for instance, justice right now, one of the justices is under investigation for using billionaire funds for his own vacation. Is that a good look or a bad look? It's a bad look. It's a real bad look, right? Well, can anyone do anything about it? Apparently no. Why? There's just not a ton of rules against them. They're the vaguest. There's less holding it in place. There's a lot of Supreme Court cases that we'll go through, but they don't have as much as the explicitness as like the legislative. Exactly.
But because of that,
They have a lot of leeway and they can kind of sneak around a little bit. Article 5 is federalism in the states and national. States and the national government, how they work together. All right, flip it over. All right, this is where you are actually going to appreciate me long term, not short term. So what we're going to do, I did kind of walk you through the major parts of the Constitution. We obviously don't have time to read through it. I'm also not a lawyer. Let's be clear. I already told you I'd be in a fabulous outfit, cute purse. Oh my God, I would even curl my hair probably. No, I wouldn't. Maybe I would. Maybe I would. Okay? I'm not a lawyer. I'm a teacher. So, if you ask me questions about the Constitution, I will do my very best, but I will remind you every single time I am not a lawyer. If I was a lawyer, that'd be cool. But I am not. All right, here we go. Article 1, you need to know, creates the legislative branch. This little cheat sheet is all you need. You do know that people go to like Harvard and Yale and Princeton and Stanford and study the Constitution for like 8 years and then become lawyers, yeah? This is not what we're doing. We will not be lawyers after this. So this is abbreviated. So if you go home and talk to your parents who are lawyers, don't have them make fun of me. No, we're finishing this tomorrow. You will never have homework from a primary or a court case. I will do everything in class. No. No, everything is done with me. No, because we don't. The court cases, yes. These, no. It's just not enough time. So, no one has to do anything on your Constitution. We'll finish it tomorrow.